Welcome to a brand new video. If you're new here, my name is Danny. I'm a real estate agent out here in Southern California, specifically in the Santa Clarita area, but I also do work in the greater LA area, North LA area, like the San Fernando Valley, also Ventura County, some parts of that. Okay, onto the video. We're going to be talking about mistakes that buyers are still making today. Now, it's no mystery that buyers have been having a rough time for this past year or year and a half of this pandemic. With houses selling so far above asking, there's just been no protection for buyers, and it's definitely been a seller's market for the last year and a half, which means I've been having a hard time for the last year and a half because I'm a buyer's agent. Now, along the way here for the last year and a half, I've learned the shoulds and should nots, and this applies to both buyers and agents, so you can reference both perspectives. For a little bit of context, I'm in Santa Clarita, which is a highly competitive market. I mean, we're the suburb of the San Fernando Valley and LA, essentially. So everyone who's trying to get out of the LA culture or trying to get into these suburbs, and Santa Clarita is one of the top ones. So I know the feeling of getting multiple offers denied and struggling to find a home for that client. I'm not even going to mention the record of offers I've sent for a client because it's absolutely embarrassing. But all right, let's get into it. Let's start with what you should do. What you should do is know what you do want and what you don't want. Crazy, right? I really hate wasting my clients' time and also my time on showing them a property that they wouldn't even consider. And that would be mitigated if you do know what you want and what you don't want. I don't know about you, but I am 1,000% guilty of going to an open house and pretending that I'm interested where I'm really not. Comment down below if you've done that before. Now, I've been in a situation where a client wants to see a house just to see it, but I think it's a really bad way to do business because it gets you off perspective. Now, there are sales techniques out there where I will take a client out to a property they can't really afford but has everything that they're looking for, and then I'll show them a property that's almost identical and it's missing a few features, but it's within their budget. And it usually works. There is some heavy competition out there right now. It's easy to buy. And it's easy for people to really consider foregoing any contingencies, which are essentially your outs as a buyer. They're protecting you as a buyer. But one thing I really never, ever recommend is releasing your inspection contingency. There are some exceptions to the rule. Now, I have had clients that have released their appraisal contingency and they've released their lending contingency. These things can be mitigated for, but I want to kind of go into the lending side and making sure that you have the right lender on your side. Like these guys at Romeo Echo Lending. I don't know if this should be a should or should not. You should have a good lender and you should not have a bad one. Shop around. Always use a great lender. A great lender can save a deal, and a bad one can easily ruin a deal for you. Things to look out for and make sure that there's somebody that's responsive, they're knowledgeable, and if they don't know something, that they're actually going to find the answer for you, not leave you with more questions than answers. Make sure you have somebody good, trust me. You shouldn't listen to anybody that's bought a home once. Now, I know this is a rough one, and that person may be family or a close friend, and they may have some insight as a buyer in that perspective. But if you really think about it, if you're using an agent who's professional and does a lot of deals, there's things you need to weigh out. Purchased a home once, sold a ton of houses. I'll let you work that one out. Now, I know I went through these things probably pretty quick, and if you have any questions, make sure to put it in the comment section down below. I can always answer any questions that you guys have. One thing I think that is going to mitigate for all the risk involved, all the mistakes that you can have as a buyer, is finding a great agent. Finding somebody that's going to be responsive, that's knowledgeable, that can find different routes for you, can work out a deal for you, and have open conversations and great communication. Like, communication is probably the most important thing in this business, and it's the most lacking, if that makes sense. Like, a lot of people just don't talk to each other. A lot of people just avoid situations, and you want to find somebody that's bold enough to ask those hard questions and make things happen for you. Hopefully this helped you out, guys. If you have any questions, make sure to put it in the comment section down below. If you have a tip for anyone, make sure to put it in the comment section down below. That'd be very helpful. All right, guys, have a good one. I'll see you next week.